What's going on, my peoples? This your boy, Mr. OBF, back one time for your mind. Welcome to the OBF, the network, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF The Real, Cash App, and donate to the channel, people. We highly appreciate anything you guys could donate to the channel. All right, people. You got two clips I want to give y'all, show y'all, man. Listen, can I just say that what we're about to talk about is the hypocrisy of people. And like I said, the one thing about Trump that I actually genuinely love that he does is that he allowed people to be their true selves. Because I think a lot of people have been hiding who they really genuinely are, but it just shows that a lot of people are hypocrites. People don't live by this, they don't live by what they say they live by. This is why, like, my honest opinion, this is the real reason why I don't fucking hang around people and shit like that if I ain't comfortable with being around you. You get what I mean? So, you know, I'm glad I ain't got a whole bunch of friends no more. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. But anyway, Bill Maher decides to go see Trump. Y'all remember that shit. And what's it? Larry Davis decides to compare Trump to Hitler. And I have no problem with that because, like I said, you can't keep insulting other races of people, but you can't insult white folks. That's basically bigoted and racist. So Larry David decides to say some real fucked up shit about him in an op-ed, and Bill Maher responds to it with nonsense. And then, you know, Abby Phillips got her panel, and then they decides to give their opinion. And this I don't give a fuck. Listen, she a racist white Jew, and she decides to get upset because Larry David or anybody from the Democrat Party that compares Trump to Hitler is insulting to the people from the Holocaust. Okay, we'll get more into that. And like I said, they so offended by that. But when black people tell you shit, you still continue to be, you still ride with people when we tell you that we've been oppressed. But we'll get more into that. Let's get into this, y'all. But no, yeah, then I got the Nancy Mace shit where she straight out go on a bigot tirade in a fucking store with a gay guy. Just fucking ridiculous. Shout out to my brother Bell in the building. What up, brother Bell? Good morning to you too, bro. Yeah, these motherfuckers out of control, bro. But we gonna get into that too. We got that coming up, and I got another live stream where I got some shit about Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford. Nobody know who Bud Crawford is. He 2 times undisputed boxing champion. Decides to lie on black people about why well, basically lie and say black people don't support 2 black fighters, which is a fucking lie, and I'm gonna prove it. But anyway, let's get into this. Hold on.
Nobody has been harder about and more prescient, I must say, about Donald Trump than me. I don't need to be lectured on who Donald Trump is. Just to use the Hitler thing, first of all, I just think.
Hold on, people. Give me 1 second. I don't know what the fuck just happened here. Give me 1 second, y'all. Fuck is going on? All right, my bad, people. My daughter's sick. She ain't here to go to school, so she's sick. I'm watching her. My wife out, so heard her cough. I ain't like the way she coughed. But I'm back. All right, let's start from the beginning.
Nobody has been harder about and more prescient, I must say, about Donald Trump than me. I don't need to be lectured on who
First of all,
Donald.
time out. This whole notion that people, I don't like when people say this, like nobody's more harsher or more nicer. Like, first of all, there's no such thing of that. It's almost basically you saying that you the perfect person. No one's perfect. I don't like when people say that shit. It's almost like you almost lose me with your whole conversation when you start talking like that. It's almost like a talking in third person in a way for me. I don't know why that seems similar to me, but I guess we all kind of do that, like talking third person sometimes about yourself, but it's weird, right? When I hear it for some odd reason. But anyway, then he says nobody gets to lecture me about who Donald Trump is. Bill Maher, I don't want to lecture you about who Donald Trump is. You know who Donald Trump is. The problem is we got a problem with you seeming like you forgetting who the man genuinely is. Listen, at this point, people, it's not about Trump. Trump is who the fuck Trump is going to be. He has always been who he is. He has not changed and he's never going to change. It's not about him. It's about people that said they had a problem with Trump. Now they want to work with him. If this man was a threat to democracy, if this man was this evil as a person, if this man helped stir up a homegrown domestic terrorism on 9/11 and you crucified him, why? Because he became the president somehow, some way he's better? I mean, he's different. You got to treat him the same? No, he's still that same person. And it mind boggles me that people will go up there and sit up there and laugh and grin with him. So no, Bill Maher, this is not about Trump, nigga. This is about you and your hypocrisy. You need to cut that shit out. I hate their fake ass outrage of they don't know why people mad at him. You know why. And if you don't know why, that's even worse. Shout out to my brother LT in the building. What about? Yo, my condolences go out to you, bro. You should have been said some things to me about that. It don't matter. Everybody got their shit going on, but somebody passed away, you know, you ain't got to hide that. I mean, everybody deal with their grief differently, but yeah, man, you can always tell me about that shit. I ain't gonna call it shit, but you can always talk to me about that. You don't give a fuck. Like that's somebody passed away. Like a lot of this other shit we talk about, but real life happens. That's why I don't be understanding people that be moving around the way they move around, like acting like life ain't like when people die, they die. Like, coming back from that shit. It's like when a motherfucker murdered and killed somebody, you go to jail, ain't no coming back from that. You ain't getting out. That's how I look at that. So people need to be very cautious how they move and treat people good, man. You know what I'm saying? But yo, my condolences go out to you and the family, man.
Trump is just to use the Hitler thing. First of all, I just think it's kind of insulting to 6 million dead Jews. Like that should kind of be in its own.
Bill Maher, how is that insulting? I remember, you can Google this shit, people. This man set up on his own platform that little Bill Maher show that he got in basically insinuated everybody that was from the Middle East was terrorists. Muslims was terrorists. Now, mind you, innocent people died over there. Innocent people being mistreated. He's still okay with Israel doing what they're doing to the Pakistani people. And this man has a nerve to have the gall to sit on a national platform and pretends that he's insulted, that people are considering, well, not considering, saying that Trump is kind of compared to fucking Hitler. What else are we supposed to compare him to? He's doing the same shit Hitler was doing. Or at least trying to. What are you talking about? It's the playbook of Hitler. Listen, people, don't listen to these ignorant, stupid ass people. Go read Hitler book. Go watch a documentary of Hitler and the whole Holocaust. Go watch a documentary of that. And go watch that and then think about what Donald Trump is actually doing or trying to do or what he has been doing in the last 10 years. And tell me that don't remind you of some shit that Hitler did. Listen, people, the nerve of these people to sit out here and be like, you can't bring up Hitler and all this comparison. Listen, first of all, America was the first Hitler. What the fuck do y'all think Hitler got with all the shit that he was doing to the Jewish people over there? Where do you think he got that from? He got it from Americans. How they was enslaving black folks. How they treated the Japanese people, internment camps and shit that we used to have over here. What are we talking about? Why are these people all of a sudden, the Jewish, so-called these white people, so all of a sudden sensitive of the Hitler comment? Fuck you. It's just like a racist white person to pretend it's insulting. Ain't nothing more insulting than you to sit there and pretend that you don't see racism. You know what's more insulting to black people? When you tell us DEI is going too far. When you sit there and know what's insulting to black people, motherfucker, when you tell us people are too woke. When we know you're just saying it's too many other minorities and white people trying to stick up for black people. We know what that means. Bill Maher, you piece of shit. That's insulting. When you got on your show and compared yourself to a field nigger, you actually used the word field nigger. And Ice Cube and the plenty of people, especially the shit where Ice Cube came up there and tried to explain to you that shit is offensive. You brushed it off like it wasn't nothing. So why would we give a fuck about your feelings of what's insulting? Fuck you, Bill Maher. You piece of shit, you little racist piece of shit, and I stand on it. You're a racist. You keep trying to pretend that you're in the closet with your racism, bitch, but we see you. You just got the lights out in the closet, but the door's open. We see you, bitch. The fuck are you talking about? You insulted. It's insulting. Bitch, we've been insulted by you. And I don't even know why any black person even show Bill Maher any respect or go on his shows. For what? Unless you're going to get on that bitch and cuss his punk ass out, there's no reason for you to go up there doing his show. The man is I'm going to say this again. Bill Maher can't tell nobody about their lives. The man is a rich, entitled white man. Has no kids. He has no wife. He has no family. But this man decides to sit here with his big nose ass and sit here and try to tell everybody, try to look like an old Italian gangster, sitting there trying to tell people about their lives. What's going on with the American people? You don't know. And Bill Maher, you ain't special in that way because you attracted to black women. But you're attracted to black women that are whores. So please, You don't get no brownie points for that. That don't make that you not a racist. Because listen, it was a lot of racist slave owners that was attracted to black women too. Did that stop them from being slave owners and racist? No. And they actually was raping black women. The fuck you? Let's move on, man.
Place in history. And, I know people can say, well, we're just comparing it in this way. Well, it's an argument you kind of lost just to start it.
Well, Bill Maher, you lost the argument when you try to sit there and get on. You went to dinner with Trump and said he treated me so nicely. And then you had a nerve to say that wasn't the man I met when I was there. So what were you talking about, man? Are you naive or your ass kisser? Like, what is it? But Bill Maher, I don't think you stupid. I know you ain't stupid. You're very bright. You're trying to play like everybody else is stupid. You're an old, angry white dude that's going to die alone. Let me explain something to you about Bill Maher. It's almost like white people like this, they never get remembered because they die. Their legacy that they have left, regardless of how successful they are, their legacy ain't really shit. Bill Maher got all the money he can imagine that he can have. And he's still bitter and angry because he don't have shit emotionally. Like I say, he don't have no kids. He don't have no wife. He don't have no family. Ask yourselves, when the last time y'all seen Bill Maher do a stand-up? Like, I don't want to hear you talking about politics because you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You're not being genuine anymore. None of this shit is funny anymore at this point. When you're trying to tell other people how they should move and how they should protest or how they should live their lives and what we should believe in, when you don't have nothing. Listen, you're not even religious. You're atheist at that. How are you going to tell other motherfuckers how to live their life? You're the definition of a white privileged white man. How the fuck you gonna tell somebody how to raise their kids and you don't know how, you ain't even got no nieces and nephews that we know of?
That's what you said a couple days ago, Dan.
Exactly.
That just using the comparison, you lose people. Bachi, I want your take on how that comes across to you as you are Jewish and a Trump supporter at that.
Listen, let me explain something to you. It's crazy that, listen, I'm not saying all Jewish people are bad. All I'm saying, it's like ironic to me that people don't get why people keep defending Jewish people. They're still white Europeans. That's why these racist Jewish people can get away with somewhat how to be offended. What are you offended by? So none of your people can be racist? None of your people can be bad? Hitler was bad. He was a Jew. I know he's considered to be evil. I get that. I actually agree. But don't sit there like he wasn't a Jew. He didn't believe in Judaism. Somehow he wound up turning into the evil motherfucker that he is. But hey, what are we talking about here? I'm sick of some Jewish people getting upset when we compare certain other racist ass people to Hitler. I mean, what else you want us to call him? The man wants to be like Hitler. This man idolized Hitler. What we talking about? Let me ask you a question. If he didn't idolize Hitler, why did, and it's reported factually, that Trump had memorabilia of Hitler shit? What are we talking about here? Listen, I know people like to pretend that Hitler was the worst that we have ever seen. He wasn't. All the American forefathers was worse than him. Christopher Columbus was worse than him. Are y'all forgetting what the fuck Christopher Columbus and the so-called forefathers, these racist slave owners, did to the Native Americans? Are y'all forgetting that? It is people did much worse than Hitler. What the fuck are y'all talking about? America did way worse than Hitler. America killed more black people than Hitler killed Jews. These are facts. And mind you, we still don't know where some of the bodies are. And we in 2025. Motherfuckers forgot what the American government did to Black Wall Street. Are y'all fucking kidding me? Y'all keep acting like, listen, Hitler is a bad person. I'm not trying to discredit, but Hitler ain't the worst. He ain't the worst. The American government always did worse than Hitler. You know how many Emmett Tills it was back in the day, nigga? Children. And motherfuckers sitting here trying to edit. We can't compare these racist ass Trump supporters and Trump people to Hitler and his troops. Yeah, we can. Because their ancestors did worse. And they want to duplicate what their ancestors did. That's how we taking that shit. I don't give a fuck about, and listen, it's no disrespect to all Jewish people. I don't give a fuck that offends you. I don't genuinely care. Comparing Trump to Hitler. I don't care that insults you. The fuck else I supposed to compare it to? You want me to use a brown dictator? You always got an excuse for a racist. Get the fuck out of here. Hitler, Trump, the forefathers, all the racist motherfuckers here, they all in the same boat to me. Some did worse than others, but they are all the same. And so are all Trump supporters. That's what I stand on, nigga. These are the same people that defend police officers that kill unarmed black and brown people. And I'm supposed to sit here and not say that y'all a bunch of fucking racists, or I can't compare you bitches to Hitler. Okay, cool. We ain't never owned no slaves, but you're trying to. You want, but it was some shit I just seen where a white farmer dude was asking why black people won't come and work on farms. I can't make that up. Bitch, unless one of our black people own it, that's the only way we should come work on your white racist farm, bitch. Soon Trump won. People was getting sent text messages randomly saying, y'all gonna pick out cotton now. Don't tell me about fucking it insults you about Hitler. Get the comparisons to Trump. What the fuck? Trump unleashed people like that. These same people, but like Nazis. A lot of Trump supporters like Nazis. What we talking about? Listen, any of you Trump supporters that like the Confederate, then we can compare you to the Nazis. Because that's all the Confederate was. Fuck are you talking about? Listen. Let me say this. Black people own slaves. That's not the point. I wish people stop coming to me with stupid shit like that. Black people in Africa own black people. Mexicans own Mexicans. That ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about America. What they have done. White America, what they have done. Their ancestors. And what they keep allowing to happen. Do you hear about Native Americans still trying to push to own slaves? Do you hear black people still trying to own in America to own black people as slaves? No, there's only one race or group that wants that. So stop bringing up the dumb shit. We all know that. God damn. When you motherfuckers need to know about the past, you try to ignore it. But I'm talking about the presence of these racist ass white folks that they're trying to duplicate what their ancestors did. And they still want to do it. But you keep telling me about some other shit that I already know. They don't get no pass. Well, black people don't get no pass either because we own slaves too. The fuck are you talking about? How the fuck you think black people even got here in America? In the African slave trade. I mean, chains and shit, all that shit we got through the boat. That's because I own people from Africa. You ain't got to remind me, I know. That's not the goddamn point. Can't stand when people do that shit. Listen, and no disrespect to you, you're probably trying to mean sometimes. I don't think you're trying to mean no harm, but I'm sick of people saying that shit to me. I already know. The point is what I'm saying. Motherfuckers always deflecting to something else of what I'm saying. What actually genuinely matters right now. Let's move on. Do you even hear Native Americans? Like, when the last time y'all really seen a Native American? Like a real shown up Native American. You don't see them like that. They mind their goddamn business. Well, at least try to. Unless the white people come fucking with them. That's another thing black people need to take away. Nigga, we get our community, keep our community. We got some fucked up shit going on in our community. Like we handle that. That's what the Native Americans do. That's why you don't hear from them like that. Let's move on.
But what's your take?
And a person who half my family was murdered by the actual Hitler. In addition to it being deeply offensive to Jews.
And ma'am, half of my family from back in the day got enslaved and murdered too. What the fuck? So what? But every time we point at racism in this country, America's not a racist country. It's not racist. DEI, too woke. You insult us, but now your Jewish ass is insulted because half of your family got murdered by Hitler. Well, so did black Americans. Our people got murdered from racist white people in this country. Their ancestors. So what are you saying? I don't give a fuck. And you still vote for a racist. And you're going to try to tell me, going to say, like, we supposed to feel sorry for you because half of your family got murdered. Bitch, you don't give a fuck about having our family. You spit in the face of Martin Luther King, because what Trump is doing, it ain't nowhere where Martin Luther King put his life on the line for. And a lot of our civil rights are our people, our family. You don't give a fuck about that. So please miss me with the motherfucker, oh, having my family got killed by the Jews. So I'm petty in that way. You don't give a fuck about mine, I don't give a fuck about yours. Shout out to my brother talking in the building. What up, Talk? I'm sick. Listen, I'm very, very sick of these some of these Jewish people that try to sit there and act like they so offended. They vote for people that want to oppress our people, but want to sit there and we can't say certain shit or we can't treat them as so it's anti-Semitic. Fuck you. If you vote for somebody that want to oppress my people, that's insulting me. And I don't give a fuck about you or your people. That's how that goes. You don't get to dictate what's anti-Semitic. If you get offended by certain shit, we offended by certain shit. But you still go vote for it. You still support a motherfucker. Let's move on.
To call Trump Hitler is to call over 80 million Americans, 35% of Jewish Americans, 56% of Hispanic men, and the majority of Americans who make under $100,000 a year, Nazis, because those are the people.
And that's what they are. And I stand on it. I stand on it. You support Hitler. The fuck we supposed to sit there? I mean, that's what you saying. And they are. And them black, what is that? What was it, like 18%, 20% black people that voted for Trump? You too. What the fuck? Oh, listen, hey man, we don't discriminate over here when you support racism. We put all your bitches in one little bucket. Yes, ma'am. Yes. You're all a bunch of fucking Nazis. Kanye West think he a black Nazi. Okay. Fuck are we talking about here? He can go with y'all too. Man, you support Nazism. I don't give a fuck. You must hate your people. You must hate. Hey, you should be disgusted by Trump. But I guess you're not, because listen, these are the same type of people. This is who Hitler was. These are the same. This woman right here, and men and women that was Jewish people. This is who Hitler recruited to do the shit that she's talking about. What happened to have her family? Fuck. They talking about we woke. Niggas, stay woke. How about that shit? Stay woke, people. This bitch, she gone. She couldn't sit and have a conversation with me. Bitch, you don't know the difference from hate. Hate is hate, bitch. They always want us to care about all the other different races of people. Always want us to care about their beliefs and their culture. But when black people want to support our people, support our culture, push our culture, defend our culture, it's a problem. Listen, let me just explain something to all the different races of people in this country. Black people are tired of being the glue that keeps this shit together. We're tired. We exhausted at this point. That's why we don't give a fuck about what the fuck is going on with people getting deported. We don't care. Because we tried to warn y'all, and we tired of being the glue to keep this shit together. And nobody listen to the motherfuckers that's trying to keep the motherfuckers that's the glue that's trying to keep this country together. Nobody's listening to us. They want to insult us. They want to tell us we too woke. Well, okay, we calming down on our woke. Go do what you're going to do. Excuse me. Go do what you're going to do. Don't ask black people for our help. We too woke. We too radical. So go do what y'all got to do. You don't need us. That goes for Republicans and Democrats. You don't need us. These different races of people in this country, y'all don't need us. Because we too woke. So don't ask black people about nothing. Don't ask us about to come to march, to support anything. We too woke. We done. We exhausted at this point. We done. We're tired. We had our ancestors die for the shit of people's rights, and now y'all voted to shit on that. Are you fucking kidding me? A nerve of this Jewish woman to sit here. She's offended. You offended at what? Bitch, your people got reparations before we did in this country. And we ain't do shit to your country or your people that died that Hitler killed. We actually helped you. We was in the war. Y'all won the war because of us. And then the crazy shit about it, we were still segregated. We still didn't have any rights when we fought against Hitler. And this bitch got a nerve to sit here. I'm offended that you comparing Trump to Hitler. Okay, bitch. Okay. Like I said, to all the different races of people out there, listen, I ain't saying all y'all people bad. All I'm saying, black people, we don't give a fuck. Real black people, we done. This is the shit we talking about. Mind you, where's the white Jewish people that supposed to be good to check this white bitch? To check this Jewish bitch. Bitch, shut the fuck up. When any of our black coon niggas get out of pocket, black people on their ass. Where's y'all people? But then when y'all go marching and rah-rah for some shit, you want black people on the front line? Nah. We check out people, you don't. So until you check your people, we good. I don't give a fuck what happens to none of that deportation shit. I don't care. I feel sorry for the kids. That's it. The rest of the motherfuckers, hey man, you on your own. The Jewish community, you feel anti-Semitic in America. That ain't black people doing that. They are the same Republicans that you vote for. That is not black people. We are not going to your churches, shooting up your churches and burning crosses. That ain't us. But you got a problem with black folks. Some of you. Kiss my ass. We done with that shit. Shout out to my brother Mel P in the building. What up, Mel P? We done with that shit. We done with that. We done with that. Like I said, if you ever notice, you don't see black people out and about doing all this shit that's going on. Like them rallies. You don't see us. Nigga, we just moving. We moving, people. We just moving. We in survival mode. That's all we in. We in the mode of we wish you would. That's where we at. We don't give a fuck about what's going on. We already been here. We lived this. Motherfuckers crying about this and that. Nigga, we already been hurting. We've been trying to tell y'all that's what but they don't listen to black folks. So at this point, you don't listen to black folks, don't ask us for help. Well, black people, it hurts you too. We already know that. We already hurting anyway. I mean, what else do you want from us? We tried to warn you. Okay. Let's move on.
Who gave Donald Trump his victory. And I just have a pro tip for any Democrats who are thinking about winning back the working class, those people who make under $100,000 a year, who a majority of whom voted for Trump. You should have a visceral disgust.
Actually, ma'am, I don't give a fuck. If I'm a Democrat, I don't give a fuck about no Trump supporter. When you back for what? Trump gonna fuck you over, so ain't no reason I got to win you. If I'm a Democrat politician, I don't give a fuck about Trump supporters. Trump gonna fuck y'all over anyway. We tried to help you. Even though we don't believe in none of the stuff you believe in, we still want you to, live life. Prosper. Whatever. What about your vote? The Democrats lost the vote because a lot of people stayed home. That's how they lost the vote. Trump would have lost if a lot of people want to stay home. We don't listen. The Democrat Party do not need Trump supporters voting. We don't. I mean, not we, but they don't. Don't need their fucking votes. It's the people that stayed home. That was the issue. That's where the Democrats fucked up. You can't reach a Trump supporter. They gone, nigga. They lost their damn mind. How can you talk to a crazy person? How can you, unless you're a psychologist or something, how can you interact with crazy people? I'll wait. Nigga, it's almost like talking, like if somebody speak a different language and you don't understand what they're talking about. And vice versa to them. They don't know what the fuck you saying to them. That's the interaction with regular people with common fucking sense and give a fuck about other people compared to Trump supporters. You can't have a conversation with a Trump supporter. You can't reach Trump supporters. They gone. How you vote for a motherfucker twice? I'm sorry, probably 3 times. First, listen, Trump supporters supposed to have been off that bandwagon when this motherfucker riled people up to commit domestic terrorism in this country. January 6th. That's when Trump supporters, so-called, they about America, they love democracy. If they was all about that shit shouldn't have happened like that. Trump should have been disqualified. Nobody shouldn't even talk about Trump. Trump probably should have had maybe 1%, because you still got ignorant people out here. Probably 1 or 2, 3% of people that probably will vote for him. Trump should have been gone. But no. These motherfuckers still voted for him and pushed his agenda. Come on, man. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you a Trump supporter that's poor, okay, middle class, which the middle class is basically gone. So you in an okay status. You with me. You in an okay status. Okay? If you are rich, that should have disqualified Trump. But you still went back and voted for him because talking about the economics and all this other shit. That wasn't what that was about. That wasn't about no fucking gas prices and shit like that. We have seen gas prices way higher than this. Even in the Biden administration, we seen gas prices way higher. Obama had way higher gas prices than this. And even the Biden shit, because we was George Bush fucked the country up. Just like Trump doing. And he did. He was part of it. I say he's part of it because, you can't stop a disease like COVID. I had fucked the country up. But he mismanaged this shit. We supposed to have the best and brightest scientists in the world. But we couldn't figure this shit out. We could have figured it out. We could have had a different path. Listen, I told y'all, if this was any other president with this COVID shit, we'd have handled this better. But we had a stupid person with stupid people in this administration that was just on some bullshit. That's how COVID got mismanaged. Listen, we fucked COVID up. It fucked the world up in a way. The world got shut down the way it did because of Trump. Listen, I guarantee you had Biden in there, or you had Hillary in that motherfucker, or Barack. Shit, I even put George Bush in that. You had somebody that used common sense. Hey, man, we'd have been good. Motherfucker talking about Trump had a good economy before the COVID, the pandemic. Listen, of course he did, because he was delivered a decent economy. Barack Obama, the economy was okay when Trump took over. When Trump took over, the country was fucked up. I mean, when Biden took over, the country was fucked up from Donald Trump. I told y'all, just watch the pattern of the last 3 decades of Republicans and Democrats. Every time Republicans get in, they fuck the country up. Democrats come in and clean that shit up. Listen, if Biden would have won or Harris would have won, we'd have cleaned this shit back up. The country's still fucked. Ain't nothing different from when Biden was in office. It's actually got a little worse. Let's move on, man.
For someone like Larry David, who's worth $400 million, sitting there.
Now you care about the rich. Why? Because he a Democrat? He a rich Democrat. You care about him. He an elite. But you don't care about Elon Musk. He the richest man in the world. And he fucking up. Larry David say some shit about Hitler. He's a $400 million guy. He's saying that Elon Musk said worse. But you defend him. That's what I told you, the hypocrisy of racist white Jews. She a racist white Jew. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And I wish the Jewish community come here and say some shit. I wish you would. Tell me how she ain't. I guarantee I can break it down. But anyway, let's move on.
And sneering and smearing the hardest working Americans for refusing to co-sign their own.
Time out. You said we smearing. You in the same party that smear innocent gay folks. Act like they don't matter because they're different from you. Because they like the same sex. You smear them every day. You support people that smear those people every day. You smear innocent immigrant people that's here in this country every day. Of course, you smear the black people. We already know that. But you got a nerve to talk about smearing. Hypocrisy. This is why I don't fuck with Trump supporters. It's no talking to people that's automatically already hypocrites. You believe in a hypocrite. You believe in a scam artist. You believe in a liar, but you trying to tell everybody else how morally bad we saying something or we believe is bad. You believe in evil, bitch. So how the fuck you gonna tell me about evil? Or how we evil? You don't even recognize that you support evil. And if that's the case, okay, let's move on.
Inheritance. That's effectively what they are doing when these millionaires come out here and call Trump Hitler. They are calling working class Americans Nazis because they chose the person they thought would give their children back the future they were promised by this country. And it just...
What future? You think it's only Democrat people that got student loan debts? What Trump just do? He said they're going to have to pay that shit. We're going to take it out your salary. If you're working, we're taking it out your taxes. But Biden was trying to fix that. But we got enough money to give back, to bail out banks in a crisis. We got enough money to bail out billionaire sports owners, but we don't have billions of dollars to help regular people that got student loan debts. We couldn't do that. This just happened today. Trump said, hey, we taking that shit out your salary. So people going to work, you might work at a job that's paying $15 an hour. You might bring home every 2 weeks probably about $600. Maybe. Right? That's the taxes. They're gonna tax that shit, and then the student loan people gonna come in and take half of your shit. So basically you working for $300 for 80 hours a week. 80 hours in 2 weeks. How people will survive? Those people need help. And they are just not Democrats. They are Republican people that vote Republican. But Trump gives a fuck about Trump supporters and Republicans and conservatives. Okay, cool. Like I said, everything that's happening, I tried to warn Trump supporters about. Listen, I don't want to hear y'all crying. We tried to warn y'all. Biden's so bad. The economy's so bad. You wasn't paying student loan debts. Biden was pushing a student loan debt executive order. He was trying to get Congress to pass a law for that shit. To take money from the rich. They was trying to do that. That's what the Democrat Party was trying to do. But you were so blinded by your loyalty of being a conservative or a Trump supporter, you hate Democrats so much, you just put on blinders. Now your dumbasses gonna pay the same shit that the Democrat voters was trying to fight against. Now they got paid, of course, but now you gotta pay it. Like I told you, the one thing you can say listen, people, I am not a Democrat, but I can say this about the Democrats. At least they try. The Republican Party, they are the elites. They are the elites of the elites, nigga. They do not care about poor people. They don't care about people struggling. Nigga, when Trump and them, when the pandemic happened, Republicans was against sending people stimulus packages in the pandemic. They was against that. was the Democrats that came up with that. It wasn't the Republicans. It wasn't Trump people, Congress people. It wasn't even Trump. He didn't even come up with stimulus packages. That what came from Democrats. And then what happened? The only reason that shit even got passed is because the Republicans came in and said, well, what about the banks? And what about the rich elite? They're hurting too. So they just got tax cuts that they supposed to have put back in the company to open up more employment to help people to get more jobs. They didn't do that. They took that money and they pocketed it. So they should be okay. When they was doing that stimulus package shit, I was there. I was watching that shit. I looked at the details of it. Democrats had that shit there to help us, the regular people. It had nothing to do with the billionaires and the millionaires. Had nothing to do with that. They should have been okay in a pandemic. Who brung that shit up for the rich? Republicans. But the Republicans can keep telling you, oh, the Democrats, the elites. Listen, nobody's saying it ain't some elite Democrats. We just saying the Republicans can't sit there and pretend that they ain't with the elites either. And they actually really will go real hard for the elites than the Democrats would. But anyway, let's move on.
Has to stop. And you know what? Honestly, I don't care if the Democrats get this or don't, but they should get this because this is a big part of why they have lost. Because they have these rich people.
No, first of all, you stupid. That ain't why the Democrats lost. The Democrats lose and they keep losing because they won't call Republicans out for who they are. They keep trying to do this shit of they're my friends. We need to come together, kumbaya shit. No. Real talk. It was some real shit that really happened, right? It was a rally that Vice President Harris had when she was campaigning to be president. And motherfuckers was booing and, going at her and shit. And she told them, you had the wrong rally. I guess they were Trump supporters. You had the wrong rally. Go down the street to the other rally. You're in the wrong rally. That's how you got to talk to Trump supporters. You at the wrong place. Nobody got time to be trying to explain nothing to stupid people that intentionally wants to be stupid. You in a cult. Fuck I supposed to do? I'm supposed to help you understand. Jack, be quiet. I'm supposed to explain to you how stupid you are? No, I'm not doing that. First of all, I don't got time to do that for you. Like, explain but like, this ain't that. They want you to explain why you believe in what you believe in. I don't have to explain that to you. All I know, I don't hate people. And I don't want to see anybody hurt or wish harm on anybody. That's enough. That's enough of me that gotta explain. I ain't gotta explain no policies to you. I don't have to explain my moral principles to you. I just gave you enough right there. That should all matter to you. And like I said, I shouldn't have to educate you on some shit that you should already try to educate yourself on. That's how I look at it. That's why I always tell people this. I say, I like to give y'all the jewels and explain certain shit in a way of directly so y'all can understand it, right? And give you my opinions on shit. But at the end of the day, I always tell y'all, go and research this shit. Even if you agree with me, still research it. So when I'm speaking about what I'm talking about, I'm standing on business. I ain't sitting up here lying to y'all. But anyway, let's move on.
The wealthy. I mean, how did
They're all wealthy.
Donald
Right?
Trump is a
Bill
billionaire
Maher,
and
they're all
a
wealthy.
pardon the Camp Auschwitz guy. He had Nick Fuentes and Kanye West over for Thanksgiving dinner. He's not exactly Nazi averse.
He's also the father-in-law and grandfather of Jewish children. Come on, Trump has done more.
I mean, he's not. That's the stupidest shit in the world. A lot of black people in New York City, rappers, I can say this, know that Donald Trump wasn't a racist. For two decades. They didn't think he was a racist. Rappers used to say, trying to be like Donald Trump. You heard the lyrics. Coming to find out when this motherfucker was running for president, he was questioning the first black president. Was he legally? Him and his foreign ass immigrant wife. So let me understand this. You just ignore that. Some people can listen. Have you ever talked to like mixed breed people that has a black and a white family, or a black person, a mixed breed person that's black and I'm going to send your ass outside. Stop that shit. You shouldn't have been barking to come in the house. Now you want to bark to go outside. You had a mixed breed person that's black and Puerto Rican or Mexican. And you sit down with them and they tell you how racist that Mexican family, that Mexican side of them, or how racist they are, or how racist that white side of their family are. Listen, I tell people this like, because I'm mixing with a lot of shit, but nobody would like think that I'm mixing with a lot of that shit because I'm black. I'm more black than a lot of shit I'm mixed with, right? So you see the features of who I am, right? I look black, right? So listen, I've been down to Dominican Republic. I've seen some racist shit of how Dominican light-skinned Dominican people treat dark-skinned Dominican family members. So I get it, right? I believe that people that are mixed race in this country have it much difficult than any other fucking genre of people, even black people in a way, because black people can be harsh to mixed breed people. Shit, we hard against we do a lot of colorism and shit. So I'm just telling y'all, like, this whole notion that people come out of their mouth and say, well, hey, well, he got Jewish grandkids. What the fuck do that mean? Oh, Trump fucked a Jewish woman. What did that mean? It means nothing. Slave owners used to fuck black people, but they hated black people. They enslaved black people. What did that mean? They impregnated and made kids. That's why a lot of us is a mix with shit in the black community. That's why you see black people out of any country in the world. You see more different shades of black people than you have ever seen in the world. That's why we mix with a lot of shit. That's why you see different complexions of black folks. That's why you'll see me with a light-skinned cousin of mine that's very lighter than me. Shit, my daughter's lighter than me. She's lighter than me and my wife. Now, let's be real. Shit, my mother-in-law, She got 2 siblings. She got, God rest her soul, auntie passed away. Her auntie is dark skinned, right? But my uncle David and shit, their younger brother, this nigga look Mexican. He can pass for Mexican or Puerto Rican. I'm sorry, he can pass for Puerto Rican. He lighter than me. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. So this whole notion, people sit out there and be like, oh, well, you know, he got Jewish grandkids and he got, don't mean nothing anymore. Stop saying that. It's your behavior. And you can brainwash people. You know how many fucking people that was mixed breed people that I knew that said that they still love their grandparents, even though their grandparents was racist to them, called them little nigga baby. Like, do y'all understand that? I've been around white people that know their family members was racist, but they still say, that's still my family. You could be brainwashed. That's where people morals come in at. You got to have some morals. Don't tell me because I hang around with white people, I'm good with all white people. No, that's a lie. I think these white people that I fuck with is good people. But I don't think all white people are good people. It's bullshit. It's a lie. And it's like, I wouldn't be mad at white people would say, yeah, all black people ain't good. Why would I be offended by that? But we don't. The thing is, when black people say certain shit, we don't group everybody as one. But white people and other races of people do that to us. Or they do it to other minorities, especially white people, they do it to all minorities. All immigrants is bad. Okay, cool. We all know that ain't true, but okay, cool. Let's move on.
Jewish people. I'm Sicilian who grew up with Jewish people around me. He is fantastic. Okay, you know what? Actions speak louder than words. He may have said some stupid stuff in the past. What he's been doing, cracking down on Harvard with their anti-Semitic policies.
That is a lie. It's not you know it's not anti-Semitism.
First of all, he said that's a lie. He ain't anti-Semitic, but he damn sure racist. If you racist, you anti-Semitic. First of all, Trump, back in the day, they keep skipping over, and I will always bring it up. Him and his daddy discriminate. They got a lawsuit that was handed down to them because they wouldn't they would not allow black people to buy, and minorities would not allow them to buy into their apartments buildings. They wouldn't allow them. These are facts. Shit, when he did what he did to the Central Park 5, and mind you, they're suing Trump now. I don't know if they're gonna win that, but yeah. But he did that. Trump is the same person that pushed birtherism. After somebody in Hillary Clinton orbit at the time, who she did fire, she wound up getting rid of that motherfucker that tried to push that narrative, try to say that he wasn't from America, he wasn't born here. That came from the Hillary Clinton campaign people. But she got rid of the motherfucker. These are facts. Trump ran with it. He didn't have to, but he did. First of all, they're using Jewish people for some college shit. He brought that up. That it's anti-Semitic. Listen, let me just say this. They're using them college shit because they want to push right-wing Nazism and racism. So people can just say racist shit all the time. These are facts. That's all it is. Like I said, you listen, the crazy shit about America, if you're pushing Nazism and racism and shit like that in Germany, yo, nigga, they try to get you the fuck up out of there. They don't even push that shit. They don't even like that shit. But they trying to sit in America, we still try to sit here and like it's okay to have the freedom of speech to be okay with racism. It's not. Because once you are okay with the freedom of speech to say racist shit, then you spark racist shit. This is what we going through now. But anyway, let's move on. Hold on. Shout out to my brother MLP in the building. Yeah, listen, listen, my people's from there. And I'm trying to tell you, like, it's not like what people think, man. It's racism everywhere, but I remember a family of mine, we went down there and visit, and they was like, man, you been gone for years or some shit like that. And I went down there recently, like a while ago or something like that. But and it was like, you should come down more. No, I shouldn't. Because we got family members in our own family that's bigots. And they do that colorism shit. Right? Like my complexion, I could probably I'm like in the middle. And I always been like that, right? I'm like more brown skinned than dark skinned, or I'm not light skinned. I'm brown skinned. So like I always had that shit amongst my whole family, not even from the Dominican Republic, just even here in the States. Like it's always been like that. Right? So, you know, I deal with that shit here. Why? And it's worse there, believe it or not. Colorism is actually worse in the Dominican Republic. Believe it or not. So, yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that, Mel P. I feel you on that, big bro. Like, yeah, I wouldn't, like, that ain't no shit that you want to go and be like, I don't, listen, I always tell people, I don't like to stay at places and go at places where I'm uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you don't want to go there, bro. Like, that's why I tell people all the time, like, nigga, I stay amongst my own. You know what I mean? I don't want to be amongst people that I'm uncomfortable with. Because see, the thing about that is that when motherfuckers, listen, I ain't with the insulting me and shit like that. I'm not with your bigotry and your racism and shit. I don't even want to be around that, even if it's my own people. When you start doing that shit, I don't want to hang around you. Because that ain't who I am. So, and morally, I'm not that. So I don't want to hang around that shit. I don't want to keep having to check you on your stupidity. You know what I mean? Because that'll lead to an argument, to lead to we fuck around, had to put hands on each other. It leads to that. So I don't want to even be around that shit. And it's negativity. Like, I don't even know why people listen, if you're uncomfortable with something, don't hang around it. But you should prepare yourself. Here and there, you may have to be around it. So you got to prepare yourself for it. Right? So, you know, people just act like we just get rid of people and don't let people, not let them exist, but act like they don't exist and shit like that. You think that shit'll go away. It's not going to go away. It's like racism. Like, I don't, like, for people to say racism doesn't exist and all that shit, that's the most that's the most extreme fucking inappropriate shit I have ever heard. Like come on, man. Like, racism ain't going to never end. You have too many people that's being raised by racists. Shout out to Mel P again. Shout out to MLP again. Yeah. They got a problem with Haiti. Yeah, I seen that shit. Listen. I was at the airport one time, right? When I went to go visit down there. And it was almost like the crazy shit about it, the love that I was received from both sides in a way, right? Because like I told you, I'm brown skinned, so I'm not dark skinned and I'm not light skinned. I probably can get more darker than I can get lighter, right? But if I be in the sun more, right? But I got treated differently. I get treated by both sides of my family very differently down there. Like it's a light, more of a lighter part of my family that's lighter down there, that lives more like in a good part of the Dominican Republic, and then my darker people that I usually go visit all the time. Like you walk in, like they got land. You know what I mean? But you like that shit is like the south. Like, you know what I mean? Like motherfucker, you got horses and chickens and shit. Like they got land and shit. And so, you know, but they treat me different because I'm kind of brown skinned and I'm not dark skinned. But it's like that, bro. You know, I got treated a certain type of way at the airport. A cousin of mine that was dark skinned got treated way different. Nigga, they stopped him. I went through no problem. I go through no problem. My cousin that's a little lighter than me, no problem. My fucking dark-skinned cousin that was darker than both of us, they was like, doing all this checking shit, had to pat him down. Like it was wild. Oh, shit, real. Shout out to my brother MLP. He ain't lying about that shit. That shit is real down there. Like colorism is real. Real talk. Let's move on.
Look at how Hollywood has treated Alan Dershowitz, who was there for 15
Alan
years.
Dershowitz has punched his own ticket, my friend. If Donald Trump wants to root out anti-Semitism, he can go over to the Nazi chat room that Twitter has turned into. The fact is, Hitler did a lot of awful things that were unrelated to the Shoah, and it is not unfair or inappropriate to compare the policies of this government to the policies of the right.
Okay,
If they measure up.
let me.
No, it's not.
It's
Hitler
insane.
banned abortion. Hitler persecuted LGBTQ. Hitler hated
I agree with Dan. I agree with Dan about
Arthur,
Hitler goes in his own little category.
I wish Hitler was more like Trump.
Arthur and John, just give me 1 second because I want to take what you're saying because this is an important.
And mind you, they don't want to hear that. When the white dude told him, Hitler, Trump reminds you of Hitler. Do he remind you the shit he trying to do? This nigga had a dictator in the Oval Office. Was telling him, you need to open up more prisons so we can send our prisoners there. Because if you, it was who was that? Who was that president? Y'all tell me in the chat who was that president. Fuck was that? He just recently sat down with him. This nigga's a dictator. He ain't even supposed to be in office. Fuck was that dude? He was a president. Nicaragua or something. No, it wasn't that. Like, it was one of them presidents he just seen. That dictator. And he was sitting there talking to him and saying, you need to open up more prisons so we can take our prisoners and put them there. And let me throw statistics out there to y'all. Listen, people, it is more minorities and black people that's in prisons. Mind you, they can't vote, they can't do shit. But he want to send them over there. American citizens. I don't give a fuck they committed crimes. They still American citizens. If you got a due date, say you got 20 years for doing whatever horrible shit you did, Trump want to send you over there to whatever that country is. I forgot exactly what it was. He want to send you over there. Excuse me. He want to send you over there, an American citizen, because you committed a crime that he consider vile. He can grab women by the pussies, but you know that ain't vile. Let me say this. No, because I believe in the higher power. Everybody can be reformed. I'm one of them. I'm a reformed dude. I come from the struggle. I come from fuck shit. So I believe in people can be reformed. Right? But when you consistently promote or continue to go down that route or support people that you're okay with committing foul shit and violent shit, then you are part of the problem. You can't be reformed. Trump can't be reformed. Yes, it is. Is there some people in prisons that are American citizens that can't be reformed? Yes. But I told y'all, if you ever been to prison, you ever been arrested or been locked up in jail, listen, jail it's the most inhumane shit that's somewhat closer to slavery. In jail, you get treated like an animal. You can be in that bitch because you had too many DUIs. And you got to serve 3, 4, 5 years in a fucking prison or jail with shown up motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about nothing. And now you got to adapt to the criminal. Listen, let me explain something to y'all. They say prison supposed to reform you. It doesn't. They took all the programs and all the shit out of the prisons to reform you. Okay? Now, mind you, you say you had a couple of DUIs. They say, look, you doing 6 months to a year. You in that bitch a whole year, surrounded by killers, murderers, woman beaters, rapists, child molesters. You're around some of the most harshest people that assault people, that's violent people. You're around that, and you got to adapt to that. So you got to, what I mean by adapting to that, you may gonna have to do some shit that you didn't even get arrested for. Prison is not like, or jail is not like some shit that way you get rehabilitated at. You want to adapt this, you want to do some shit in jail or prison to survive. It just is what it is. Let me say this. It shouldn't be, and they don't separate prisons like they're supposed to. If you are a rapist, you should hang around nothing but rapists. There should be jails for that. Right? If you are a murderer, it depends what type of murdering shit it is too, because like you could be in there for self-defense or whatever it is. It should be separating certain motherfuckers from that. You got people that's in jail that wind up turning to crazy motherfuckers. It's like putting a motherfucker that committed murder with a fucking or a dude that was self-defense, but he committed a murder. Or he made a mistake to kill somebody at a bank robbery. Or something went wrong. And they killed somebody. Somebody died. So he in there for murder. And you put him with a serial killer. What? And you don't think that dude mental ain't gonna be fucked up fucking around with that serial killer? Are you crazy? Let's move on.
Point, I think, that gets lost in all of the yelling, to be frank. There was a lot of Hitler talk by Democrats in the campaign. Trump is going to be, Trump is going to do, Trump is going to, right? But I think what they're saying now, Democrats, is a little bit different. Listen to Larry Tribe saying not what Trump has promised to do, but what Trump is doing or has done has historical parallels.
Nice little university you have there. Be a shame if something happened to it. That's what Hitler basically said, although it sounds different in the original German, when he said it to the university at Frankfurt and then took them over. That's what Orban has done in Hungary. That's what Erdogan has done in Turkey. It's a standard technique.
The comparisons to Hitler are a loser.
That's what I'm saying. Trump is trying to do the same shit that these dictators are doing. Listen, this is what I'm saying about America. Stop saying we the greatest country in the world when we're okay with dictators. Our thing was always we against dictators or people mistreating their own. But we've been hypocrites for a long time too. So what Trump actually has been doing, what you're seeing Trump has done and presented was America. We've been okay with dictators, and so everybody's so upset at Trump because he on a dictator type of movie trying to turn a country to a dictatorship. Trump is actually showing you what America really was all along. That's all. But anyway, let's move on. Hold on. Let me shout out to El Salvador president. Yeah, that's who that is. Yeah, he was sitting there talking to the El Salvador president. Shout out to my brother Mel P for putting that out there. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Game in the building. What up, Game? Listen, man. Listen, you know the crazy shit about it? I be having like fucked up days and shit like that, but my focus is always to help people. Like I be going through shit, but I just, my thing is this shit is like therapy to me, but I need to do this. This is my purpose. This is what the high power put me here for. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. Like my shit that I go through, that shit is nothing. You know what I mean? In a way, like to me, like I don't get stressed out about life. Life happens. I go through shit. That's life, bro. I've been through worse. I always tell people I've been through worse. So I don't get that down like people think. You know what I mean? I get pissed. I get hurt by some shit, but I don't get down. Life moves on. And I understand my purpose. Like when you know your purpose or what you got to do, yeah, shit gonna hurt. You gonna have bumps in the road. Shit gonna fuck up. Like shit gonna seem like you're not pushing the needle and shit like that. You're not doing certain shit that you think that should be moving the way it's supposed to move. But that's life, bro. So as long as I keep pushing, keep standing on morals, keep standing on business and principles, you listen, life happens, bro. You get fucked over. Like people fuck you over and life happens. Life hurts sometimes. That's why you try to make the better of your life. That's why you always tell people I'll try to make the people around me that I care about better or make them feel good when they're around me. Listen, I'm very good of hiding my pain. Very good at that. And listen, I can tell you about all the pain that I go through and how I feel. I can get emotional about some shit, but I hide it very well. Right? Like I don't go too deep of how I genuinely feel about shit. But it, it is what it is, bro. But I appreciate you asking though, bro. I appreciate that. Let's get back into it.
For the left. I mean, I agree, but I'm not saying they're not fair.
Well, again, you may think they're fair. The problem is
policies. Yes.
I get it,
Hitler
but
had
it's
only just
hard.
threatened universities. I would have met my great grandparents. Like, come
It's
on.
very hard to draw that line to
I
say,
agree.
well, I'm really just talking about some of the things that Hitler did.
Authoritarianism has
I got it,
habits.
but there are other authoritarians to compare to.
Great, let's compare to Mussolini. I'd love to do
But
that.
again, you won't get as much trouble as you
I
will
agree
with
with you.
all
I
right?
agree. It's a third rail.
Right, it's a third rail for a reason.
Yes.
Because Hitler was uniquely bad.
Yeah.
He was uniquely
And
evil,
I think
right?
that
First of all, he's not uniquely bad. The propaganda of mainstream media in the world presented Hitler as this. He was the worst. He wasn't. Russia did worse. There's other countries that did worse. China did worse. Japan. America did way worse than Hitler did. Let's be real. Remember when people said, I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Candace Owens or somebody. They said, where Hitler fucked up was he was trying to change the world outside of Germany. That's when there was a problem. Or where he was trying to get everybody in the world to kind of do what he was doing. Well, America already was doing that. This whole notion of fake democracy that we have in this country, we push this shit around the world. I try to make all these other countries turn into democracies. But at the same time, they still mistreat the less fortunate. It's still racism there. They didn't fix nothing. They didn't fix shit. America did not fix democracy like what democracy, like think about what's going on now. Why is democracy, why is Trump so much of a threat to democracy? Because we didn't fix it. But we're supposed to be the standards of democracy. Trump broke that shit in 3 months. In 3 months, he destroyed democracy. That democracy, he destroyed it. Because there's holes in it. Because the country was never a democracy. We was pushing forward to be a democracy. We was lying to our own people. We was lying to other countries that we're the democracy country. It's a lie. Trump just broke it. In 3 months, he just broke democracy. When you tell a president, a Supreme Court, a military, a DOJ, a Congress, I got more power. I got a president immunity. I can commit all the crimes I want. You can't do nothing to me because I'm the president. Or when I was committing crimes or mistreating people or doing criminal shit, I got presidential immunity. What do that mean? That's a dictator. That's dictatorship. I don't give a fuck if you're the president or not. You're supposed to, if you commit a crime, you're supposed to go to jail. How are you better than the citizens? Because if we did what you did, them motherfuckers going to jail. That's not a democracy, bro. You give Trump a pass for doing criminal behavior because he was the president. When he was doing criminal shit, But if I did what Trump did, or you did what Trump did, we going to jail. Because we don't have that label of being the president. How's that fair? How's that democracy? That's not democracy, bro. We have never lived in democracy. How the fuck the president, first of all, how can a president be a 3-time felon? I mean, a 34-count president, committed 34 criminal charges, got convicted of it, and he's still a president. We never lived in a democracy. And I keep saying that to everybody. Talking about we fighting for the democracy. No, nigga, we really just fighting for rights. We not fighting for democracy. Democracy been broken. Before Trump, and Trump just exposed it that we don't live in a democracy. That's all Trump did. And motherfuckers sitting there, you mad at Trump for doing some shit. You mad at Trump for doing some shit that the country was already allowing. He just took advantage of it. That's it. Because he's a fucking con artist and a criminal. The fuck you think a criminal gonna do? People crazy. Let's go to a quick commercial break, people. We'll be right back. The fuck? We'll be right back, people. Hold on, give me a second. All right, I'm back, people. But like I said, we don't live in a democracy. We just don't. I don't know why people keep thinking that. We genuinely don't live in a democracy. It's no way impossible that Trump can do what he's doing. And the Supreme Court and all that other shit talking about some DOJ. It was like the DOJ gave him a pass. Every president, it ain't just him, every president give him a pass for committing a crime when he's a president. Like, are y'all serious? And then then the people in Congress to impeach him to get him out there, they wouldn't even do it. When he did impeachable shit, nigga, they was trying to get rid of Bill Clinton for lying of getting head. That shit was impeachable. But Trump did a quick pro quo of basically bribing a fucking ally, a foreign country, to dig up dirt on his opponents. And if they didn't do it, Trump was like, I ain't gonna give you the money. And he actually did it. But that's not impeachable. That's not a crime. But Bill Clinton lied about getting head. So how do we actually really live in a democracy? Come on, man. Remember they kept saying Hillary Clinton, she got all this shit, you know, what was that? She did with the servers and all that shit, right? She did all that shit with talking, the servers or whatever, right? They were talking about all that shit. And she did all that shit. And they were talking about she committed crimes and all shit. But Pete Hegseth and the Trump people, they all did that shit. Ain't no criminal charges coming. Ain't nothing coming. You can't say on one hand, oh, well, we wouldn't play that shit. We don't do that. And all right, they should have been criminalized. They should have been gone or whatever, right? But you don't do it. So how does that shit make any sense? Because we never lived in a democracy. We live in a country where people pick and choose when shit is bad. There's no such thing of policies and shit like that. There's no such thing as that. I'm sorry. No such thing of Hey, be quiet. Hey, boo. Let him outside. Go ahead outside.
Wait a minute.
Oh, never mind. But yeah, ain't no such thing as that. They lying. There was never no such thing of, hey man, be quiet. There's no such thing of like Jack. A nigga crazy, man. That nigga been feeling this up. We gotta get him some tasers. Like we try to upgrade our tasers and shit, but we can go back. That nigga doing all that shit, man. I had to stop all that shit because you gotta tase your dogs and shit from. It's like discipline them so they won't run and bite people. People think it's a cruel shit, but it's actually not. You gotta do that shit so they won't bite people. You know what I mean? When they hear you speak, they stop. But this nigga, he been out of pocket, but I gotta get them taser shit. Hey, boo, how much them taser things cost? Because you wanted to go back to the old ones, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, look it up. Let me know. But anyway, let's get back into it, y'all.
And really, I think we should take seriously what Batya's point is about the true, pure evil of mass murder,
Right.
that Hitler engaged in, which you can talk about a lot of other authoritarians and authoritarian behavior, and it's not that still,
Correct.
right? So I guess her question is fair. Why not just compare him to other authoritarians?
I agree. I do it all the time. I'm just saying, there's nothing that this administration has done in either term that compares to what Hitler did to the Jews in Europe. But nothing compares to it. Because there are other really crappy things Hitler did that are not unfair to the world.
Right, but it doesn't mean that you can't say, for example, when Hitler was leading up to Czechoslovakia, right, and how he went about convincing.
That's why we compare Putin.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, you can talk about historically specific things Hitler did that were comparable to other. What you can't do is make broad comparisons. But that's what Larry David was doing. Larry David is saying, when you're sitting down with this guy, and he didn't say it's like sitting down with Hitler, but that was the point of the piece, right? Which was, in effect, it has the same impact. And that's where you get into trouble. I think you can draw a line and say there's specific historical things you can talk about. But when you make the big picture comparison, that's when you get into some real trouble.
Are they
Shame on the New York Times for
Well, first of all, listen, just because, you know the bad part about it, I get how they trying to separate it a little bit. The problem is, the more you give Trump a leash to do what he does, the more of that it will lead to this. That's the issue. I don't give a fuck how it's presented. If you can continue to allow Trump to get away with shit, and don't call it out and stop it or put a focus on it, of this shit is like almost damn near he trying to go Hitler, then like, okay, when he get there, then what? Then now it's okay for us to call him Hitler? Or he doing Hitler shit? Now we can compare him once he start doing it? It's a little too late for that. It's a little too late, my people. They're just sitting here and they're like, you can't compare him because he hasn't done it yet. Okay, listen, man. This is what's wrong with the political system right now. I remember back in the day when a politician just got caught up in some cheating shit. That motherfucker was down there basically disqualified. And like I told you, even about Bill Clinton, nigga, they want to throw Bill Clinton lied to Congress. His ass should have been gone. My honest opinion, you don't lie to Congress like that. You under oath, you lied. Right? If you ain't got nothing to hide, nigga, go there and say what you got to say. Listen, if Bill Clinton would have admitted, I fucked up, had a motherfucking affair, whatever, you know what I mean, apologize to my wife, whatever. Yeah, it would have been a crazy big story. It was already crazy anyway because we already know he did it. But if he admitted to it, it wouldn't have been no big deal. It's nothing to impeach you over because you admit you fucked up. But the problem with people, they don't want to admit when they're wrong, when they fuck up, because they're thinking more about their position of power. And that's the problem with the country now. I can keep lying. The lie is okay. The truth will hurt more. And I told y'all, lying is easy. That shit is the most easiest thing to do is to lie. The hardest thing to do is to tell the truth. Especially when you get caught. You see people now, when they lie, you see them around you. Right? When they get caught in a lie, you be like, yo, you lying. Like, you got the proof or whatever. And they lying. And you be like, yo, you lying or whatever. You know what they do? They make excuses for their lies. They deflect from it. That's where the country is. Because it's easy to lie. It's almost like to make an excuse for people that lie and that's bad people. It's easy to make it. Because everybody be like, well, I did that shit before. I did that. But yeah. But are you doing it now? Right? Are you on the same level of somebody of bad behavior? Nobody's perfect. Everybody make mistakes. The problem is that admit when you lie. You get caught in a lie, admit to it. I lied. I fucked up. The problem is people don't want to admit when they lie or they made a mistake. They got all these excuses in the goddamn world. Or if you do wrong, you did wrong. You can always say, listen, I did wrong. I didn't mean to do it. And that wrong, but I take full responsibility that I did do some fuck shit. I did wrong. But I didn't mean like in that way. Like, I didn't mean for this to happen. Of course. But admit what you did. I'm wrong. People keep acting like they can't do that anymore. Now people like, nah, fuck that. I don't want to admit when I'm wrong. That shit gonna look bad on me. Listen, you already look bad because of what you did. But like I said, we don't have morals in this country anymore. But let's move on.
Okay.
They shouldn't
all
have-
right.
The only letters to the editor they get all the
Do you want
time,
me to-
they don't print.
I don't
That was one
want
thing they didn't
not to defend the New York Times. I mean, they did write a whole explanation about why they did it. They said callbacks to history can be offensive, imprecise, or in terrible taste, which some people might argue this is, when you are leveraging genocidal dictators to make a point. But Larry's piece is not equating Trump with Hitler. It is about seeing someone for who they really are and not losing sight of that.
Not since the New York Times published an op-ed from Tom Cotton has there been this much controversy at the New York Times.
So I'll just say, I think
And let me say this: the crazy shit about the media, right? It's not just regular media anymore. It's social media. It's so easy to put out disinformation, right? It's easy to make. You got so many people that will make excuses for bad shit. So it's hard for like people like me to like speak truth to power. It's hard to do that. It's even more harder now because of social media, right? And then you got mainstream media now that's trying to have this balance of people that lie and people that tell the truth, right? It's very hard now. So Trump been lying to the American people for years. His whole entire life he's been lying. The man been a scam artist his whole life, and people still think that he's the best for America. No, he just tapped into your fucking hate. That's all he did. Trump is not you. This man is rich. He don't give a fuck about you. Trump give a fuck about himself. You think Trump ran for president because he thought he can help people? No, Trump ran for president because of the simple fact he thought how this can help him financially. Trump was broke. He wasn't doing very well. Even when he had the little show and shit, the apprentice shit, he wasn't doing well. Even before the apprentice shit, this nigga was going bankrupt. Trump would have been broke. Trump would have been broke if he didn't go and do that shit with the apprentice. He'd have been broke. Nobody, listen, let me explain something to y'all. It wasn't a bank in America that would give Trump a loan. And still to this day, Trump get money from his loans and all that shit. He get that shit from foreign countries. Trump is a great liar. He's a great scam artist. Nobody, I'm not gonna take that from him. He's good at doing that. But Trump ain't nobody that I would give a loan to. Trump ain't nobody that I would trust with my money. And people talking about, oh, people trust him to help them in the economy. How? Trump, his whole entire life, he been rich. He's never been in these people's situation. Ever. Trump was born with money. Listen, when Trump was born, or before he was born, when he was born, he was already worth millions of dollars. I know how people like to talk about Biden or whatever. Listen, Biden survived off of white privilege, but he wasn't rich. You go look at the backgrounds of Biden. He was never rich. People talk about Obama. Obama think he's more better than everybody and all that shit. Listen, nigga, he didn't grow up rich. He never had a head start. A lot of motherfuckers that you criticize did not come in this shit rich. Trump was born rich, or before he was born, his daddy was rich. Do y'all understand that? So when Trump came, when he was born, nigga was already born a millionaire. You know what I mean? Time Trump went bankrupt, fucked businesses up, and his daddy had to bail him out plenty of times. What y'all talking about? Trump is a white privileged white man, and that is a elite. You don't like elites. You keep talking about them Democrat elites. Nigga, he no different. He was a Democrat elite before he switched over to Republican, but he was still a elite. He still is. What's wrong with y'all? But I told everybody, it ain't about Trump or the elites or nothing like that with these Trump supporters. They mad. It's all about race. It's all about bigotry, about homophobic shit. It's all about being a sexist. I'm just telling y'all, you pick and choose any Trump supporter. This ain't about no damn elites. They're lying. That's why I don't understand why TYT said talking about the elites. What are you talking about? Trump supporters don't give a fuck about the elites. They voted for an elite. Trump is an elite. When I think of Bernie Sanders, nigga, listen, yeah, he got his money, but that shit, like, he a millionaire. But that's something he did. Started from the bottom. You look at the history of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders was in the civil rights era. The shit that he talking about, he been doing that. Trump ain't never fought for nobody ever in his life other than being an elite. When did Trump whole life give a fuck about people? He did not. And you talking about the rappers. Get the fuck. These are rich rappers. Motherfuckers worth millions of dollars. Talking about Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton worth millions of dollars. What are you talking about? Al Sharpton lost his way, however you want to look at it. He helped the elites. He didn't help regular people. Listen, no disrespect to Al, but Al ain't been down with the people like that for a long time. Let me tell y'all something about Al Sharpton. Let's be real. Some black people can get upset at me and some white people or different races of people. It don't matter to me. Al Sharpton is not a black leader. He's not. Yes, he was under the umbrella of Martin Luther King. We get it. But Al Sharpton ain't been a leader in fucking decades. Listen, I ain't saying he do no good. I'm just saying Al Sharpton ain't that guy. You calling Al Sharpton for what? Al Sharpton is on MSNBC, CBS, or whatever you call it. He's on that shit. Like, he's not nobody you calling to fix some shit. That nigga, listen, it's almost like what I always look at myself. I'm in a different position. You call me when you really about some shit. You just can't call me for no little shit. And that's family. Like, when my family, the situation with my aunt and shit, nigga, I done went broke to help family. The problem I had with the family was, all right, shit happened or whatever, y'all needed or whatever, but you only called me when you wanted something. That was my issue. I should always be in your shit, but you only call me when you want to call me. And then on their behalf, just look on their behalf. Because I looked at this the way too. My family only called me when my aunt shit or whatever happened was because they may feel we only can count on you to come do some big shit. Well, that means you don't know me. And I'm not going to do that because that's your opinion about me. I'm not going to give you money or do this or do that for you if that's what you think of me. Listen, let me just say this. Everything goes both ways of trying to fix shit, right? Because I learned that, right? It go both ways, but hurt is hurt, bro. You know what I mean? But if you're not open to understanding that you hurt people too and people see you a certain type of way, if you don't think that, then you shouldn't have a conversation with people, right? But like I said, my thing is, I was telling this shit to my cousin. I said, yo, we need to go all get together, but we got to speak on real. And if niggas ain't really willing to do that, then I don't want to be a part of that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and fake like everything we all good. That's not what I'm going to do. That's not me. And my cousin, he said, like, well, you know, you can't, he said some shit to me like, you can't make people do what you think they're going to do. And I was like, you're right. He's exactly right. But like I said, I'm morally on a different level. Right? You can't change your perspective of me if we don't have a real conversation. Right? Because you got a perspective of how you think how I am. And I got a perspective of how I think how you are. But if we can't have that conversation and be real, and we're going to be offended of what each other saying. But if we don't want to have that conversation because tensions is the way they are, right? If you got some type of like people feeling a certain type of way, right? In your family, like they feel a certain type of way. If y'all can't have a real conversation, then what the fuck are we talking about then? And that's what the shit I was telling my cousin. I was like, I'm good with motherfuckers criticizing me. I'm okay with that. I know I ain't perfect. I know that. I know I carry shit wrong. I get that. But when you can't say some shit to other family members, well, shit can go left. And I was trying to tell them, like, yo, I might say some shit to them that these niggas ain't gonna like. I'm okay with motherfuckers saying shit that I may not like they say to me, but is they mature enough to understand that? And the crazy part about it, my cousin, I love him to death and shit, because he just lost his mom and shit. So he wasn't in a space in a way to kind of understand what I was saying. That's how I looked at it. I didn't take it personal. You know, he ain't called me back and none of that shit. We got in a little, like, not a dispute, not like nothing crazy, but we got in a little dispute. I was like, yo, that's what that is. I say, yo, I'm not the same person that everybody knows when I was young. I'm not that same person. Listen, a lot of my family, honestly, real talk, a lot of my family sees me as that nigga that I used to be. Right? Like they think that I'm this street hood nigga and how I moved. I'm not that person. Like you know what I mean? I'm not that person like that. Like I'm not that motherfucker that you knew 10 years ago. Like a lot of my fans, like, honestly, real talk. My aunt passed away. A lot of my cousins and people I ain't seen these motherfuckers in about 10, 20 years. This is real talk. But these motherfuckers still see me as that same person. Do you know what I mean? Listen, you don't know me unless you hang around me. And that shit go vice versa for me. If I don't know how you are, I don't hang around you, I don't know who you are. So I'm assuming that that's how you getting down. So I was just saying that to my cousin and shit. I was like, yo, niggas gotta be open to being real. We gotta put everything on the table, how we feel about each other. We can't and have an open mind that listen, motherfuckers ain't the same person, but we still have those same how you put it, like them same issues that we have amongst each other. Like we still think this about each other, but excuse me, it may not be true. But if you don't have a conversation, of course you're going to keep assuming, excuse me, that the people that your family members, whoever it is, or friends of yours, they're the same people, but you don't have a conversation. And if you don't have a conversation, you're going to always assume that. And I was trying to explain shit to my cousin, but like I said, my cousin, his mom passed, my aunt and shit, and that nigga wasn't in the right position to even listen. I love my cousin, but he ain't in a position to lead that or lead what I'm talking about with the family. You're not in a space to lead that mentally. You know what I mean? I am. I want motherfuckers to say how they really genuinely feel about each other. This sugarcoating shit, or we trying to spade each other feelings and shit, I don't like that. Because we don't get nowhere unless motherfuckers tell you exactly how they feel. Now people can tell you, listen, I meant that or I don't mean that. Like you gotta be in that space to do that. But it gotta be open for people to be like, all right, I'm open enough to understand where you're coming from. But you can't have conversation with people that ain't open to that. So that's my thing. I didn't push it no more. And what I have been thinking, right? I've been thinking maybe I may have to do it. Right? Like I know my cousin, he wanted to do it, but he ain't gonna do what I'm asking. You know what I mean? So I think I may have to do it. And it hurt people because you gotta tell people that you kind of, not kind of, but you love that they ain't this and they ain't that. Like that shit don't feel good. You know what I mean? Or people gotta tell you that you ain't this and you ain't that. They don't see you like that. That shit hurts. But at least you honest. I'm saying, like, my family don't know who the fuck I am no more. And it's vice versa. I don't know who the fuck they are. I really genuinely don't. I cut them off. They cut me off. However it goes. But we ain't the same. I don't fuck with them and they don't fuck with me. And it's just like, and we gotta be real about that. We can't lie to each other and act like we hang and we talk and we don't do that. You know what I mean? So I probably need to talk to my cousin again because that's some shit I probably have to do that. I don't think my cousin can do that because my cousin emotionally going through some shit. Respect him, love him, but he ain't like that nigga is not. You know how like sometimes you in a family and sometimes you can surpass niggas, in your family. You know what I mean? You still respect your older cousins and shit and your elders, but they're not on that type of time to where shit need to be said. And that's what it is. I don't want to just get along with niggas. You feel me? Because, that's what I took from a lot of shit with my family. We wanted to get along because my aunt passed away. Nah, nigga. We're not just getting along on that. The fix shit in relationships with other family members, you got to put that work in. You just can't say some shit or niggas just forget everything. I don't forget everything. I tell everybody, listen, in moments I can move a certain type of way, but I never forget what the fuck a motherfucker did to me or how I feel when I'm in their presence. I never forget that. So we ain't talked about it or squashed it. That don't mean because I ain't speak about it or say nothing that shit, I don't feel that way. I don't feel a certain type of way. That's bullshit. But yeah. Listen, in this shit so we can move to the next segment, people.
Really important conversations, and
Oh,
I think
shit.
we should always.
My bad.
All of the history, because this is how we learn, this is how we grow. And it breaks my heart that we have a president who actually wants to erase a big part of what is my history as an African-American woman, as a mother who benefited, who is a white woman who benefited from affirmative action. Again, if we're gonna have these tough conversations, let's have all of them. We're not gonna say we're gonna have this one and not that one. And you get to be at the table and you don't.
I should also point out that yes, Larry David did not directly compare Bill Maher to Hitler, but J.D.
Or
Vance
not
did.
Donald Trump.
I'm sorry, did not compare Donald Trump to Hitler. Yes, sorry, Bill. I love both of these guys, so I'm trying to walk it carefully. But J.D. Vance did. So let's not lose sight of it.
J.D. Vance did in fact do that, yes, in his past life.
Wait, if you were to
Right, and that's the shit. That's the shit I'm saying. Like, you got motherfuckers that in his cabinet that already compared him to Hitler, but they kissed ass to him because it was a power structure that they wanted to do. That shit is crazy. But anyway. Let's take, give me a second, people. You want the hamburgers tonight?
You said you're fixing them tonight.
I did not. I did not say I was gonna fix it tonight. I said I was gonna fix it tomorrow. It was gonna get whatever.
Just leave it out. If you're not fixing it tonight, then don't put it in no water.
So,
You're not fixing it today, don't put it in no water.
all right, well, I'm just I didn't say I was gonna make hamburgers today. So I was gonna make them tomorrow. You already know that. I don't know why you act like I said something different. All right, people, I'm back. Now let's talk about Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace decided to be bigoted to gay people. That's what she did. Like I said, I don't understand. Like I always say, I don't know why people got this obsession with gay people. You know what I mean? I don't really understand that, but it started to make me think that most likely you behind closed doors and you got gay tendencies. You actually into gay shit. Cause that's what that shit, you like talking about it and demeaning gay people and shit like that. Like, nigga, what gay people doing to you? Or you just mad because gay people exist, or they just gay? Like, I don't understand it. But let's get into this when Nancy Mace decides to lie and play victim that she's very hurt that this gay man, or she felt threatened by this gay man or gay people. That she always feel like she's so threatened by gay people, but we're gonna break some shit down. Let's get into it.
Nancy Mace of South Carolina in what turned into a heated confrontation with a voter in a store. The pair go back and forth and eventually start to exchange profanity.
You're gonna host a real town hall for the people.
Did you miss the 15 I had last
That
year?
wasn't the town. When are you gonna host one this year?
I've already had one, and we'll have a dozen more.
The town hall you hosted this year was not a town hall.
It was a town hall, and I do them every year.
Every year.
You want to keep going?
Are you gonna do any more this
Want
year?
to keep going?
Are you gonna do it?
Harassing
I'm
me?
asking if you're gonna have any more town
Put
halls
a
this year.
dozen
Please know that you're
people
going
on
to
the
this year or
left
not.
are crazy.
So I don't know that.
Absolutely crazy.
I'm absolutely
Get out of my face.
You're insane.
Bye.
What's up, everybody? Mace retired Richard Ojeda here, and this might be the most unhinged, outrageous, insane, batshit meltdown between a member of Congress and a constituent in American history.
You're insane.
Bye.
You're insane. You're gonna be voted out so fast this year. I can't wait for you to go into the dirt.
So much.
You're a disgrace to this state. That's what you are.
Lana Boebert got kicked out of Beetlejuice for groping and vaping. Mars the Trainwreck Green ran out of New York City like a scalded dog. But Nancy Mace went full HOA Karen on steroids right there in aisle 4, dropping F-bombs like it was her own grocery store WWE promo.
I felt threatened, I felt harassed, and I will tell you as someone who's experienced.
Taking that courageous first step
Goddamn
towards
commercials,
recovery
be
in the
my bad.
valley is your moment of truth.
I felt threatened, I felt harassed, and I will tell you as someone who's experienced trauma in her life, and a lot of women will understand what I'm talking about when some guy gets in your face and approaches you.
Time. She made me spit my shit out. Listen, talking about she was threatened. She felt threatened. First of all, let me explain something to y'all. This is what I don't like about people. If you feel threatened, why are you sitting there still having a conversation with this person? Why are you still interacting with them as you if you feel threatened? If you're so scared, see, listen, when people say they feel threatened, you retreat, right? And especially when you got these type of opportunities. If in her situation, if you feel threatened, you should leave. You should be trying to de-escalate it. You should be like kind of like, listen, sir, I feel threatened that you're in my presence. You leave or I'll leave. So you can't have two things at once. The man never approached her. He never like moved in her vicinity because they was distance. It wasn't like they was there. Like somehow they was very close like that. Like it wasn't like that. It was some distance between them. And she trying to talk, oh, she was threatened. You was not threatened, lady. Nancy Mace, you wasn't threatened. And I noticed you've been doing this with gay people. You're trying to make them a threat to you. But anyway, let's move on. Let's go back a little bit.
Understand what I'm talking about when some guy gets in your face and approaches you in the aggressive manner that he did, and you feel like you're in danger instinctively.
First of all, she's saying what she's saying. She felt like her life was in danger, but she never left. She never moved backwards. She never cried out to people that he's putting my life in danger. She never said none of that. She just kept going on and on. That's number one. Then number two, let me just say this. Why she ain't call the police? She had a phone. Listen, in my life, I feel like my life is in danger. I'm calling police. I thought you know, you about the police. Call the police on them. You felt like this gay dude was a threat to you. Why didn't you call the police? You had your phone. You know what she used her phone for? To record. That's what she did. If your life is in danger, you shouldn't be using your phone to record. You should be calling the police. But she didn't do that. So listen, miss me with that shit, Nancy Mace. You just a bigot. And I don't even know why you hate gay people. I genuinely don't. But like I said, when people on that type of time where they pushing this anti-gay shit, they hate gay people and shit like that, it just started to make me think that most likely you like gay shit. You want to be a part of that community. Listen, people, I don't hate gay people. But I damn sure don't want to be a part of, Listen, first of all, I love gay people. 2 lesbians, I'm good. 2 men, no, I'm not. I can pick and choose. You can call me a hypocrite, whatever. But that's my preference is 2 women. Or you know what I mean? If it came to that, nigga, I ride with the lesbians. I'm with the lesbians. They're still women to me. Right? But 2 gay dudes, no. They still dudes. Why the fuck I'm attracted to gay dudes? I'm gonna fuck 2 gay women on some women type of shit they on, nigga. They still women. You ain't never ran into a woman that a butch woman or masculine, the one that want to be the dude, that she ain't fine. Yeah. As a man, yes, you have. And if you lie like that, if you say no, you lying. But anyway, let's move on.
Women who've been through trauma, who've survived sexual assault, survived domestic abuse.
First of all, they ain't had nothing to do with sexual abuse. First of all, lady, you didn't scream out this dude was sexually trying to abuse you or nothing like that. That's bullshit. And what do your confrontation have to do with a gay dude? Of your interaction, that got something to do with your sexual abuse because he a man and he gay? Listen, let me just say this. Listen. I've been around a lot of gay dudes, right? Let me just tell you something about gay dudes. Like dudes that's gay. They're not really with that violent shit. They're not violent like that. This whole notion that she's sitting there trying to act like because he a man, he gay, he on some violent shit. That's bullshit. You fuck with gay people in a certain type of way, get violent with them, that's something different. But this man was not trying to be aggressive to her on no violent shit. He's gay. Listen. I spoke about a long time ago my aggressive situation, my situation with certain gay people and shit like that. I don't like about certain shit. But I never had gay people that actually violated me or tried to violate me. Well, I can say that they didn't try to. But I'm going to say I never had an interaction where I physically got into it with a gay person. Ever. I never got involved. Like, I never had an interaction like that with gay people. I have it. Like where, but no, that's not true. It was a woman, or was not a woman. She was my cousin. She was a lesbian, and we got into it and shit. She was strong. I didn't think she was that strong. Nigga threw me on the car. Because I was fucking with her. You know what I mean? That was my ignorant shit back in the day. And nigga, get your wake-up call. I got a wake-up call. I can't lie about that. When she nigga, we got the scuffling. She threw my ass up on the car. That was me trying to be on some bully, almost kind of like, I told you I was ignorant to gay shit too. Even though I hung around a lot of gay people, but you know, it still was a stigma in the hood of how you treated gay folks. So I was on some bullshit. Got my wake up call with that nigga. Gay lesbian threw my ass up on the car, strong as a motherfucker. I was down there turned to a bully. I always tell people, listen, I probably was a little, listen, I believe I was homophobic at one period in my life. Of course I was. Never lie about that. You know what I mean? But to sit there and deny that you wasn't a homophobic or you weren't homophobic like that, yeah, look back at shit and shit I know now, yes, I was right homophobic. I don't think I was as bad as others, but I still was homophobic. You know? I'm not that now, but I know better. At the time I didn't. I was young, I was a kid. Yeah, but yeah, nigga, I was very homophobic. So when I tell y'all I see these motherfuckers being homophobic and shit like that, I know what that shit is because I was that. I don't speak on no shit that I don't know nothing about or have no experience of. Very homophobic. I was very homophobic, bro. As you look at the times we are in now and the shit I know and the shit that I did back then, oh yeah, I was very homophobic. Didn't know I was, but I was mad homophobic. And I don't think I go back and look at it. It was a long time ago. I don't think that I was trying to, like, it wasn't no homophobic shit. Right? I think I was trying to do that shit. But yeah, it was that. And I was on some man shit. Like, she was trying to shit dude or some shit like that. Ain't fuck me like that. Like, I was on that dumb shit. I don't think I was that trying to be homophobic like that. Because like I said, I had cousins and shit that was gay. You know what I mean? And she was one of my cousins that was gay, but we weren't close. But I had a cousin that was very gay. You know what I mean? And now she a transgender, right? So I had that back in the day. So it wasn't, I don't think it was fully that. I just thought that, you know, ain't no motherfucking gay woman gonna beat me up. Like, I was on that type of time. But if you look at it from the gay community, they might look at that shit like you being homophobic. And I can get that. Yeah, I can get that. Let's get back into it, people.
It's like it was her own grocery store WWE promo.
I felt threatened. I felt harassed. And I will tell you, as someone who's experienced trauma in her life, and a lot of women will understand what I'm talking about, when some guy, gets in your face and approaches you in the aggressive manner that he did, and you feel like you're in danger, instinctively, as women who've been through trauma, who've survived sexual assault, survived domestic abuse, you have two options. You can fight or you can flee. And Sean,
I'm still trying to figure out her confrontation with this gay dude. How that got to do with anything of her trauma of dealing with sexual assault? Because a gay man did not sexually assault her. It was a straight white man. Why would she even bring that up? I don't understand that. She got sexually assaulted by a straight white man. Not even a gay white man. She didn't get sexually assaulted by a gay white man. What the fuck that got to do with anything? Because he a male and he gay? Listen, I'm gonna put this way. I ain't never had no interaction with gay people where shit got violent. I told you about the story with my little cousin or whatever, but that was some shit that I did. But I never had no fucking gay person ever like physically harm me. Why the fuck I got a problem with gay people when I don't have that? Like I never had that. She doesn't have that experience. That's the crazy shit about it. She don't have that experience, and I definitely don't have that experience of a gay person assaulting me. I have never had that. Because of what I believe, or I don't like gay people. I ain't never had no shit like that. She's a liar. You're trying to blame a gay person for a heterosexual male that assaulted you. So now she pushing this narrative that gay men is trying to assault her. She feel assaulted. She feel intimidated. Bitch, you got insulted by. You got intimidated by a heterosexual male, not a gay person. Why are you trying to compare them the same? They're not the same. Listen, people, all I'm saying is I don't like them using gay people as a threat. That's not cool. That's not okay. Nancy Mace is sitting out here talking about she felt threatened by a gay dude. You got raped by a heterosexual dude, not a gay dude. So what are you talking about? What this got to do with you scared of gay people for? Well, we all know you just putting on a performance, but you got raped by a heterosexual white man, not a gay white man that wears Daisy Dukes or whatever you get ready to start saying. What the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, let's move on. This shit is ridiculous, bro.
I'm a fighter.
I asked a simple question. Nancy Mace was not held in this aisle. She had to clear out of this aisle. I was at least 8 feet away from her at all times. There was no aggression. There was no harassment. Nancy Mace likes to play the victim card, but that's not what happened here. I asked a simple question as a resident of the state of South Carolina, and she couldn't answer it.
And if the founding fathers could see this circus, they'd be clawing through the dirt, trying to drag her ass out of Congress themselves. So what happened? Nasty Nancy Mace was out of the grocery store in South Carolina when a constituent.
Listen, I don't believe what he just said about the founding fathers. That's bullshit because they was racist. They would have been against gay shit. So for him to bring that up, he a part of that TYT bullshit. He's a former military. I mean, I'm not saying he don't mean well, but that for him to bring that up, that's like, no, don't bring that up. You are a military person, and you think that everything that the gut, false. Never mind. Let me just move on from that. But I don't like that he said that. No, this country been racist, bro. They've been against gay people. And first of all, the country been gay. Slave owners was gay. All the slave owners that we ever talk about, all your forefathers, they all was gay. They watched gay shit or they did gay shit. They was ripping black men. Or they was okay with watching black men being raped. So they all was on the gay spectrum. Like, what y'all talking about, man? How did the forefathers was against gay shit and they was okay with men being raped? Even if they ain't raped nobody, how you good with that? That mean part of me mean you okay with gay shit. This is facts. You can't make that shit up. You can't act like they don't have no. Listen, all them so-called forefathers they want to look up to, them niggas was okay with raping people. Some men that they knew that was homosexuals, they would rape. They raped black men in front of their families. That happened. They don't want to acknowledge that, but that happened. They was raping black men. They was, you remember niggas talking about dildos and all that shit? Nigga, they was taking shit and running shit up black people's ass, turning them gay, punishing them with poles and shit before dildos. Their intentions was to break out people, take the manhood away from them. Do y'all understand that? What our ancestors been through? And these motherfuckers acting like we can't be pro-black, we can't love our people. Nigga, our people was sexually assaulted. The men and the women. But they hate gay people, but they was doing gay shit. Their ancestors did gay shit, but they hate gay shit. Listen, if you're against gay shit, right? All you so-called conservatives, you okay? You say you're against gay shit. All right, let me put you on game. You still a part of the gay community because you was okay with slave owners sexually assaulting black men, fucking black men, fucking them, torturing them in front of their wives. They did that to men. Yeah, they raped our women. We know that. But they was raping our men in front of our wives to take their manhood away from them. These are facts. Go look it up. If you think I'm lying, you think I'm making up some shit, go look it up. How the forefathers was some type of real men. They believe in Christianity and shit like that, but they was okay watching the shit of black men getting raped by other men. And some of them was raping black men, having sex with them, raping them. So, but they somehow, we all, like, you know how they were talking about, oh, Christianity was all this. What the fuck are you talking about? Where's that in the Bible that saying it's okay? Was they real Christians? Was the forefathers real Christians? They wasn't. They was raping black men and black women. How the fuck they was Christians? It's okay to rape people. That's you telling me that was what was Christianity? And you talking about generations of this shit. They raised their children this way. But somehow these motherfuckers come out and tell you that's what the country is really about, Christianity. In their Christianity, they was raping black people and black men. That's what they was doing. They was mistreating and enslaving people. How the fuck is that Christianity? And don't tell me, oh, that was just the law back then. Well, okay, well, if that's the law back then, why y'all glorifying that? If that was wrong, why you still glorifying it? You don't glorify some shit you know is wrong. Well, they did some good things. Well, black people did some good things too. The fuck are you talking about? Anyway, let's move on, y'all.
Actually lives there, spotted her, and asked a question. That's it. A simple, respectful question. When is the next town hall? What should have been a normal, everyday interaction between a voter and their representative turned into an absolute circus. Within seconds, it escalated into raised voices, wild accusations, and a full-blown profanity-laced tirade. F-bombs flying, Nancy's ego flaring, and shoppers getting pissed And why? Because Nancy Mace couldn't handle being questioned. The clip went viral, and suddenly, like clockwork, she ran to Fox News to clean up the mess.
Yeah, but the lunatics on the left, they're dangerous, and women need to stand up for themselves. And I was the first member of Congress to say, I'm going to hold the line for women and girls everywhere. And since that time, the amount of aggression that I've had from mentally ill men, from men in dresses, from men approaching me in public, like this guy, this Daisy Dukes guy, the short shorts guy, just as I was trying to buy face wash.
First of all, time out. Macy Grace, you're a liar. You are intentionally want those people to come to somehow approach you. That's your whole point. You want to do that. That's your whole point. There's no way that listen. If I got a problem with a different race of people, I don't want that interaction. Let me say this to Trump supporters. I don't want your interaction. I don't want you talking to me. Just move on. I don't care about having a conversation with you. I don't. The shit ain't gonna go good. So I don't want to have that conversation. I already know it ain't gonna go. Why would I want to have a conversation with a Trump supporter? Unless I invite you to having a conversation with me, that's different. But my day-to-day life, no, I don't want none of you motherfuckers talking to me at all. You're a Trump supporter, you're a racist, don't ever talk to me. Ever. I don't want nothing to deal with you. Nancy Grace, you went into that situation looking for that. You was looking for this interaction. You was looking for this interaction. So stop acting like, oh, I just went there to just go do my shit. Bitch, you didn't have to do that. First of all, Nancy Grace, let me put you on game. It ain't just Baltimore. It's in South Carolina where you are. Man, you worth way more money than me. Listen, God, you have way more money than I have. Man, you don't have to fuck with nobody. You don't have to go to no store. You can order that shit. Because that's what I do. I don't even go to stores. I order my shit. Got my shit ordered today. Nigga just came. I don't need to go to no motherfucking store. I don't need to go to Walmart. For what? Nigga, I order my shit. The fuck are you talking about? Like I said, if I found good prices in to bring my beer and my cigars to my house and shit like that, nigga, I will do it. I don't go to stores, bro. You listen, anybody that go to stores, you want the interaction. That's the whole point of it. You want interaction with people. That's what you want. Don't sit there and pretend that you don't. Because there ain't no reason for you to be fucking with people or interacting with people. It's no reason for it. So that's a lie. She just lying. But anyway, let's move on.
It's not okay. And by the way, I voted for gay marriage twice.
What does that have to do with
So
me?
I'm just saying, it has everything to do with you.
You think everything about me has to do with gay
I
marriage?
do,
That's
absolutely.
your first stance when you
Yep.
speak with me?
Absolutely.
Right. And that's ignorant. You think a gay person only give a fuck about gay marriage. You know how insulting that is, how disrespectful that is to a gay person? Oh, that's all that matters because you got your rights to be gay. So they don't get to care about other humanity shit. They only just give a fuck about their gay rights. You know how ignorant and disrespectful that is? But she don't see that. Nancy Mace do not see that. What the fuck is wrong with people that would think that? Oh, they only give a fuck about, they got their rights. I know plenty of gay people. You think that I know for a fact. I know plenty of gay people, family members, friends of mine, people I don't know. I know they probably give a fuck about more than just getting gay rights, nigga. They care about some other shit. Humanity. The fuck is wrong with you? That's what I'm saying. Do you even know gay people? Because I know gay people. Gay people just don't give a fuck about just their rights, nigga. They give a fuck about other people having rights and living. I know some gay people like that. But for her to say that, that's what I'm saying. She really genuinely don't care about other people. For you to say that, that's so disrespectful. That's all you care about, your gay rights. What? To gay people? You said that to a gay person. That's like to a black person. You only care about George Floyd. You only care about being woke. You know how disrespectful that is? So that you telling black people we only give a fuck about us. We don't give a fuck about nobody else. Nah, disrespect. Okay. Let's move on.
Nancy Mace sees people in a single layer. She sees me and she sees the people of my community one way. She feels that we owe her something because she voted yay for gay marriage. We don't owe her anything. In fact, we'd like her to answer the questions that we actually have. When are you putting out your schedule for an actual town hall? When are you going to fight for that people of South Carolina instead of playing these theatrics like you're so good at?
There she was, pulling a full-on HOA Karen routine, pushing this laughable narrative that she was the victim, claiming she was threatened by a supposedly aggressive man, that she was triggered because of past trauma, and that this voter's calm question somehow qualified as harassment. This is probably what an HOA Karen would include in a false police report, too. But let's be real, this wasn't a trauma response. This was a power trip. She wasn't cornered. She was challenged, and instead of answering, she exploded. Meanwhile, the gentleman she screamed at, he ended his interview with Laura Coates by saying he's been dealing with this kind of treatment for a long time. That's the real tragedy here. No one deserves that. And now he's getting it from his own representative in Congress. That's what makes this behavior from Mace not just unhinged, but absolutely unacceptable. Lauren Boebert got kicked out of Beetlejuice. Mars the Trainwreck Green got dog whistled out of New York City. And now Nancy Mace joins the lineup with her profanity-soaked mess in aisle 4. What do they all have in common? Weaponized victimhood, faux toughness, zero accountability. This is the new MAGA model, performative rage mixed with authoritarian cosplay. These women don't lead, they LARP. They don't answer the constituents, they attack them. They show up for clicks, not community. Mace thinks she's slicker than Boebert or Green because she throws in a few moderate sound bites or says she voted for gay marriage, as if that's her basically a permanent pass to turn around and mock queer people in public. It's all part of the grift. She wants the viral heat without ever taking any heat. She wants the brand without the burden of governing. Nancy Mace walks around like she's the belt-wearing champion of some imaginary congressional fight club. Leather jackets, sound bites, TikTok videos, and middle fingers to anyone who asks real questions. But she's not a fighter. She's a fraud. Her idea of being tough is yelling F you at a voter. Her idea of resilience is pulling out her phone and playing the HOA Karen card when someone makes her uncomfortable. If someone actually held her accountable on the House floor, she'd squall like a schoolgirl with a skin-up knee. This isn't toughness. It's theater. This isn't leadership.
Hold on. And let's just say this. She's saying the shit that she's saying because she can get away with it. Nobody in the Republican Party saying her, like, that shit is bigoted. Nobody's saying that in the Republican Party. That's why I'm saying to the Republican Party, you keep trying to bring that shit up. Oh, we should be able to say whatever we want to say. Listen. It's consequences for that. This is a Congress representative that's running around lying. She's lying. That's the crazy shit about it. She's lying about she was in danger from a gay person. She lied about that. That should disqualify her for lying like that. We seen the videos that this dude was distance from her. This gay dude was distant from her, but she would lie like that, and people in and Congress will still defend her. Her voters that hate gay people, like, you ain't better than the gay person that you mad at. You genuinely are not. How you hate somebody you don't know? You don't know that this gay person is trying to push gay shit on your children. You don't even know that. You just the perception of it, or the person that you like pushing that bullshit. I apologize to y'all. They cut my lawn. My guy that cut the lawn. I mean, cut my grass. He outside, so that's what y'all hear right now. But yeah, like, yo, who does that, man? That shit crazy. I don't never want to like do that to people. Like that shit is weird, bro. You don't do that. Nancy Mace on some fuck shit. Let's finish this out.
It's cosplay. It's bad attitude wrapped in a red, white, and blue filter. She talks about Jesus while tearing down the very people he lifted up. She rails against cancel culture while trying to publicly shame someone for wearing Daisy Dukes. She mocks trauma while claiming to be a survivor herself. What does she even stand for, other than being mad and mean at the same time? This isn't a representative. This is a walking PR stunt with a voting record that caters to billionaires, not the people of South Carolina. Eli Murray Quick showed the country what dignity looks like in the face of disgrace. He was calm, clear. He was absolutely within his rights to ask his representative a question, and Nancy Mace couldn't handle it. She saw his appearance, made assumptions about his identity, and turned the question into an attack. She projected her own defensiveness and bias onto him, then accused him of being aggressive. She pulled out her phone like a cop caller in a gated suburb and turned the grocery store into a public humiliation pit. Eli stood in truth. Mace collapsed into performance. And even after her Fox News rehabilitation tour...
Well, let's leave it as that. You heard what he said? You heard what he said. That shit is a rap. Like, yo, she's a fraud. This woman is sitting out here, you mad at gay people. No gay people is bothering you. You bothering gay people. Gay people don't give a fuck about Nancy Mace like that. Yeah, they show up to protest or whatever, but ain't nobody getting violent. None of that shit. She does that shit all the time to get a fucking somebody to put attention on her. This white woman is irrelevant. She ain't passing no policies. Ask the policy she passed. Oh, she a part of the gay, gay people not gay men ain't playing the sports. Okay, cool. All right, cool. What's the other policy that actually genuinely help black people? I mean, genuinely help people. It's no policy. She has no policy. Anyway, leave your comments, hit that like button. Support your boy, Mr. OBF. Peace and love to the world.